Today I'm going to show you my wildlife photography setup in the kayak, and then we're going to be chasing some bald eagles and hopefully get some shots. Let's get started. A bald eagle just flew and landed in a tree over here on the edge of the lake, and I'm trying to sneak over to see if I can get a shot of him. I actually cannot see him at the moment, but I know he hasn't flown away because I've been watching. So it's just a matter of getting the right angle and being able to see behind the branches to see exactly where he's at. So I'm still watching this eagle. I was able to get a few shots of him perched up on this pine tree. Not a fabulous shot, but it is an eagle, so it's better than nothing. And he may sit here, or she, it may sit here for hours. So part of me wants to wait on it. Part of me wants to venture on over toward the nest to see if the other adult is hanging out over there. Decisions. I'd like to wait and see if he takes off and maybe get a flight shot, but patience is the name of the game, but not sure if I have all that much patience today. So that eagle took off, and I was trying to see why he took off. I didn't know if he was going to go fish. And then I noticed two other eagles in the air, and eagles are very territorial. So he went looking for a fight. No actual hand-to-hand, or should I say talon-to-talon combat, but it was pretty cool. They were buzzing around over top. I was firing away. I have no idea if any of my shots were in focus, and if they were, if they're even decent enough to share, but it got pretty crazy there for a minute. Evidently, I don't have to worry about being patient any longer because they are gone. I'm not sure where they landed. I have a row of trees over here to my left. Can't see. But they were flying around, just letting the other birds know that, hey, this is my hood, you get back. Something like that. So I'm gonna look around and see what else we can find. A couple of you asked me to do a video on my photography setup from the kayak, so today I'm going to do that with you. It's nothing out of the ordinary, it's nothing fancy. I'm basically utilizing what I have. This particular kayak came with some bungee cords already on it. I basically use it to hold my tripod in place. I am using a gimbal head with my D850 and 200-500. And I'm also utilizing a waterproof bag that zips from the top. I've tried the traditional roll top cylinder shaped type bags, and it's a real pain getting the camera in and out of it, especially if you're coming up on some rapids and you're on a river and you want to get your camera tucked away. It can be quite a scramble. Okay, I'm making this short little clip to show you some more details of the bag. As you can see, it has an outer pocket that's waterproof, that you can put additional items in there. There's a little mesh pocket inside if you need to keep something separated. And as you can see, plenty of room for the D850 with the 200 to 500. It could probably hold a 500 prime if you really wanted to. Also has nice carrying straps, as well as a nice shoulder strap to help you carry your whole kit to your kayak from your vehicle. It's a good bag. Pretty heavy duty. It's got handles on each end, and also nice little feet, if you will, on the bottom. And I'm really pleased with it. And again, I'll put a link in the description below where you can purchase this. Again, I emphasize I'm not sponsored by this company. I'm just showing you what I'm using. A little bit more difficult with this setup when you're trying to do a vlog, because I have a vlogging camera and the microphone, and I'm also carrying a GoPro. But it works pretty well. You can keep yourself really stable with the gimbal, and it allows me to get video. One thing I want to emphasize before you take your photography equipment out into a kayak: be sure you're very familiar with your craft. I would go out in it especially if you're an inexperienced kayak user. For the most part, they're very stable, depending on what model you get, of course, but a lot of times they're rated, and you can also talk to a sales rep or someone at your local outdoor sporting goods store, and most of the time they'll be honest with you. Of course, you'll have those few that are just trying to sell you something. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. But this one I did a lot of reading up on, and went to a local dealer, looked at it. This one is rated to be pretty stable. I've never tipped this. I've had water come in it going through some serious rapids, but I had my camera equipment tucked away in a waterproof bag, so that's why I have the waterproof bag. Also, practice getting in and out, and make sure that your equipment is tucked and sealed in the waterproof bag even when you're climbing in and out, because that's when most of the hairy situations can occur. You know, you might lose your balance and flip backwards or something, and you're going to have a $3,000 anchor, depending on the cost of your equipment. I hope that helps. Like I said, it's not real technical. It's not complicated. I'm just utilizing what I have. I hope in the future to evolve this. I'd like to build a little bit of a rail across in front of me that I could attach my gimbal to. That way I don't have to fool with splaying the legs out on the tripod, and because it takes up a lot of space here in the kayak. But I'm always evolving with my equipment needs. Just ask my wife, because she sees the checking account. But I'm using what I have for now. It's effective. Yes, it is a pain in the rear. You can still paddle with it set up just like it is. You just have to take shorter strokes. But you're not really in a race. Oh, I thought that was Sasquatch for a minute. Not sure what that was. But anyway, you're not in a race. You want to move slow and easy. You're sneaking up on your potential subject, so it's not really that big of a deal. Of course, I break down the equipment and put everything back in the dry bag before I make a long trek back across the lake, like when I'm going back when I'm finished. Anytime I'm moving along, I keep hearing noises. Anytime I'm moving along on the river, I always tuck the camera into the dry bag to make sure in the event that there is a tip over, the equipment will be protected. I'm not sponsored by any of these products, but I will leave links in the description below as to exactly what I'm using. So the eagle that I was pursuing through the chicken noodle soup of a lake took off, and he perched on another tree about 200 yards away through more chicken soup. So we're gonna give him some peace and quiet, let him tend to dinner, and we're gonna start making our way back over to the boat landing. No spectacular shots today, the eagles, just a couple perch shots. I hope you enjoyed the footage of the eagles. Even when you don't get a great photo, it's just great seeing them, and it's great watching them. They're beautiful birds, just amazing creatures. Hopefully also you were able to pick up some tips from the kayak photography setup, or whatever you want to call it. Again, nothing custom, just using the equipment that I have and adjusting it in a way to make it work for me for now. It's enabled me to get some pretty decent shots and some good film footage. So actually it's not film footage, it's digital recording, but I'm old, so I still think I'm filming something. But that will be it for this evening. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, take care.